Hey everybody, Big Z. For those of you that are still sticking with me, even through my last video, I appreciate it. I know I probably offended some people, especially towards the end, and where I am now with all this, with dissociative identity disorder, the DID crisis that I believe everyone on earth is suffering from. I want to say this. It's not a belief. It is something you know inside of yourself. And I know that the root cause, I made my wife a promise. One of the last things is when we were ripped and torn apart, one of the last times I really spoke to her, she said, Todd, you have got to get to the root of this, the root of it. And this truth will illuminate you. And it kind of agitated me a little bit. She used the word illuminate, but I made her a promise that I will get to the bottom of this and I will get to the root of it. I believe that every ailment, everything that on this earth that takes place, and the reason for it all is this DID, and us being separated from our divine feminine mother. You ever wondered this, and I'm going to interject a lot, I have no notes prepared on this, where the hell is our mom? We read all of our texts of, especially the Abrahamic faith, she's like non-existent. But she is. She's there. But she's non-existent. Why is that? Why is it, one of the questions growing up in Christianity is, when we go to heaven, all the angels are male, everybody will be male. And I thought, well, why in the fuck do I want to go there then? A bunch of fruitcake angels flying around with thongs on? What the fuck is this? There's no women? So what happens to women, our wives and our daughters, when they die? Are they converted into men? It's the most goddamn stupid thing. The shit that we've been told in Christian churches is some of the dumbest, dumber than dog shit stuff. And how the hell we justify this shit is unbelievable. And saying that, I believe in our Creator. You bet your ass I do. I am not an atheist. But who we've been told is the Creator is not. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but I'm not with this. Someone asked me, why are you not pursuing, I haven't seen my wife in 2 years. Okay, and we don't have a legal marriage, but we do. And I have a little surprise for someone. Anyway, why are you not going after this? Because I can't. Because they have so much power over her that if they knew the threat or perceived the threat of me coming in to take her out of that and expose it and bring her out of it, they would fire off. They have the ability to do a lot. They got a power block. And I have to be very, very, very cautious of how I do this. One, I don't want to trigger her. Two, that the damage that even if I had a victory, it could be Pyrrhic, because the damage to her could be so terrific. If to think that what they haven't already done to her is the most cruel fucking torture that human could do to another human. I have to put myself aside in my grief that I'm in of being separated from her to look at the long-term war that this is, and because it is literally a battle for her eternal existence, which I believe is secured now. Anyway, going back to this, what is the cause of all this? For all the men out there that follow me through this, you better fucking listen to what I'm going to tell you, because this is going to hit fucking hard, and I think it's going to bear witness to everyone that watches this. And I can say that with the deepest conviction. I may not know much in this world, but there are some things, like all of us, there are things that we know that we know that we know. And when someone has that conviction in them, you know it, and you know they're speaking truth to you. Okay, disassociation from our divine feminine, I think that's the root of everything that takes place here. I think that is what is the cause of all of it. There's a man, his name is Sean McCain. His channel is Awake the Dead. You need to go there. He's been doing some videos on circumcision. He has really fucking hit something here with this. And I like Sean. He's an amazing man, awesome father. Just got a really sincere spirit to this man. I really am fond of him. Married man, father, good family man. And he's got a great channel, and content is amazing. And he had Dr. Ammon Hillman on, so So I'm with him. But he has gone into this thing, and it's funny because It's been being revealed to many of us at the same time. For men out there, if you've been circumcised, do you know what was done to you, what was done to me? Do you know? Do you want to know why the women are being raped by their daddies as more than half of all the girls in America now? Up to maybe 80%. Why is this? Why is this psychopathy happening? Does circumcision play a big part in it? You bet your fucking balls it does. Yeah, it does. This all goes back to this ridiculous Abrahamic fucking religion shit. This Abraham dude is the fucking father of, I think he's the father of all psychopathy, fucking piece of shit, whatever. If this dude ever existed, he is a sick, genital mutilating fucking wacko. Anywho, who believes that God's telling him to go sacrifice his children and cut their penis skins off. And what is it? And let me interject this. You know, I never read the Old Testament. I was one of these gospel Christian dudes. Like I was like a Thomas Paine or a Thomas Jefferson. And those men, when they first discovered the Bible, they were like, what the fuck is all this ridiculous? This is a fucking ridiculous. And Jefferson had his own Bible, was just the Gospels, okay? But when you go back and you read the Old Testament, and then if you go like to Dr. Ammon Hillman's channel, when you find out there never was a Hebrew. There never was even a Hebrew fucking language, okay? It all comes from Greek, and they back translated this shit to insert themselves in there like they've been here forever. They're not. They're a fucking alien race of people that have worked their way back in here and backdated themselves and then backdated and created a fucking language. As you've learned from Dr. Ammon, you have the Greek language has anywhere between 300,000 to 500,000 words in it, and Hebrew had like 4,000, like enough to carry a conversation maybe through an hour-long brunch or something. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, getting off on that. Everything is being disassociating us from our divine feminine. And if you read the original creation story, which most of us haven't, okay, I just learned it this year, you learn who, you have in the paloma where the monad is, which is the source of all, everything, the one. And this source, power, consciousness, energy has its first emanation, which is the divine feminine mother. The Greeks call her Barbello. And these two work together. They have a union together of she does nothing outside of him. And it's this beautiful thing. And they produce a child, which we call the Christ that's in us, not out of us. And we'll go there later. But this is the start of creation. It's her. She asked for wisdom. She gets it. She asked for knowledge. She gets it. She asks for a child. And she receives her child. Who is her child? Us. All of us. I'll say all the way through this, if you come from a dysfunctional family, because every fucking family is dysfunctional, okay? Even the best of them. You learn something about something I call bad daddy. And it is why from all of my life, it was the one thing I didn't want to be. But I found a part halfway through in my marriage that I was becoming this kind of an arrogant, misogynistic, not in a bad way, but thinking that you're the shit. You know, men go through this thing, they get some power and they got some prestige and stuff, and they think they're all this and that, or, whatever it is. And yeah, I became a class A fucking douchebag. But anyway, so it's the bad daddy thing going on. We go back to learning from the women that are, we've talked about this before. If you want to hurt a mother, let's say the daddy, there's a custody dispute going on over the children. And I've lived this fucking out in my life. And I watched my wife and her daughter and her ex-husband go through the same attack, the same fucking playbook. You go after the children. Separate her from her kids and you destroy her. And that goes on every fucking day. I think about going back to this thing of being, not pursuing, I think about the women out there that every night they go to bed and their children aren't home in the home with her. And many of them are with the spouse who was the person causing all this and abusing the children, or worse than that, they're placed outside with other families and they know the horror that their children are going through. You know, they say there's something worse than death. If the child had died, you would know it had left this realm and gone to a better place. And you could grieve and move on past that. But when your child's taken from you and placed in the custody of someone who you don't even know, and you know the odds are overwhelming that your children are being abused, it's worse than death. It is a torture that I don't know how these mothers go through it. As a man, knowing that your wife is being tortured alive by other men, psychologically being hit with every fucking weapon Lockheed, Martin, has ever created for mind control, and the trauma that they're putting her through and their trauma bonding, it is, I don't know how I've gotten through this. And I can only imagine, and I think the only thing, it's amazing, I say this, every day you want to fucking die because it hurts so bad in your heart. Every day you want to die, but if you know you leave this realm in this world, there's no one there that's going to save your children or your spouse, and you have to endure. It is a torture that is, everybody, this whole goddamn thing has got to stop. Okay, let's move on. Disassociation from our mother. Let's take this entry point to it right here. When a child is born, okay, and a boy to its mother, there's a lot of trauma taking place even before the child is delivered outside of its mother. From the ultrasounds that are putting sonic waves that are severely damaging this young child. But when a boy is born and taken from its mother, it's kind of like you ever watch these National Geographic shows with the mama bear, and she's protecting the cub, and it's amazing who comes after those cubs. Not other predators, the male bears do. Why? Why is other male bears coming to attack those cubs? And that mother watches those cubs, and you've seen the videos where one of those men starts sniffing around, and that fucking mama bear unloads on their ass. I mean, she goes from 0 to 1,000 in lightning speed. And those claws come out, and she will tear that fucking bear apart to protect those children, those cubs. And as us human men, we inherently, I guess, expect or have, it's in us that our mother is there to protect us. And yet when a male baby or all babies are born, especially in the Western world here, and most all the world now, the child's immediately taken from the mother. That baby should never leave your eyesight and never leave your side, fucking ever. But that little baby's taken down the hallway, she's taken to a room where it's injected with a fucking hypodermic needle, injecting all kinds of shit into it, poisons and who knows what. And that baby screams, and those poisons go to the brain, and the brain's traumatized. The pain of the needles in there. This baby has just putting air in its lungs, and it's already being traumatized. Where's my mommy? Why is my mommy not protecting me? And then if you're a boy, you go through the most goddamn horrible fucking thing that you could do. I cannot watch the videos of it. I cannot watch it. I've seen the device, that little table, they take that little baby, they strap its arms and its legs apart. You're fucking sick, the people who do this. And the nurse has to ejaculate the baby a little bit, stimulate the penis to get blood into it. So you are right then being sexually abused by a nurse who is massaging your penis to get an erection, a blood-stimulating erection to the male penis, so it can then take a goddamn fucking razor blade device and rip its fucking foreskin off of him. Slice that thing off. The most sensitive part of a man's body is fucking mutilated right there. And a lot of them go wrong and go bad. And over on Sean's channel, you need to listen to a lot of the stuff they hide from us. But the trauma that takes place in that child right then, there's your dissociation. You don't even have to make it to the fucking Masonic Lodge, okay, and go through the fucking temptations of fire down at the Catholic Church. You're getting it right there. Your very first experience in this world is a sexual stimulation that results in having your penis skin cut off. Genital mutilation. The trauma goes right to the brain, and you get your fracturing, and you have your disassociation right there. That baby, that child, that little boy ends up not trusting its mother again. The baby's then taken back to its mommy after it's calmed down and whatever they've done to it. And the mommy's like, oh, they got my son back. And a lot of the children, the boys they'll reject breast milk. They'll do different things because they're so traumatized. But in that act right there, you have a dissociation that takes place, and you have a form, maybe distrust for your mother, and maybe a hatred to her for what she's allowed to happen to you. And you carry that your entire life. And you're traumatized. The male penis, as Sean has just shows in his videos, you've got to watch them, is designed to fit inside of the labia a certain way to form a certain suction. And all your nerve endings and stuff that stimulate to the brain in this beautiful thing of copulation, which is not supposed to be all this pounding shit that we've turned sex into, this really loving motion of, it's turned into friction. It's not supposed to be friction. It's supposed to be this beautiful, succulent type of experience that two people have that has been fucking just destroyed. So the boys grow up to have an inherited, they don't even realize it, distrust from their mother. They've been ejaculated by, mostly it's always a female nurse most of the time. And it's their first sexual experience that results in probably the hardest trauma that you'll experience in your life. Welcome to this world. Welcome to disassociation. Welcome to inherently putting in the children and the boys a distrust for their mother, which is connected to the divine feminine. So you wonder why, and we're not excusing any behavior of a man. There's no fucking excuse for anything that you do, okay? But when these men are doing this stuff to their children, trauma bonding. To hurt a mother, take her children from her. Our divine feminine mother, the divine feminine, the mother of all living. And let me say something to you men out there, and some of you women who will say, oh, God's a man. Nothing in existence is here without a mother, okay? Men don't shit children out of their asses, okay? No animal does, no one does. All life, all living come from our mothers. And to cut her out of this thing as if she doesn't exist is dissociation. So right here we have a problem. I believe it's the root of all of it. And it can go down in 1,000 different directions this thing takes off and goes to. But here is your root cause of all of it. We have to be reconnected back to our divine feminine and our mother. And let me tell you something. If you think divine feminine is something that's weak and doesn't have power, Barbello, our divine feminine mother, could fucking smash this place in oblivion if she chose to. She has got unlimited power, okay? And like a mama bear, she'll whoop your ass faster than you could fucking blink. So don't think of it being our divine, no, you fucking, So, okay, Big Z, I've had this question asked. Why doesn't our divine feminine mother with all this power come and save us? Because she can't. Well, what do you mean she can't? Well, let me explain this. And I learned this because I saw it with my own heterochromium eyes that I have now. Yeah, brown eyes that turn blue with little sunflowers in them. If you know what heterochromium is. Anyway, I saw my wife being trapped inside of her little farmhouse, her beautiful little farmhouse, and she locked herself in there, and I had to leave and go. And I learned by watching this, her being attacked by the ex-husband, pedophile, sick piece of shit that he is, and this Freemasonic fucking group of misogynistic, patriarchal douchebags fucking coming in and attacking a fucking 59-year-old little 5-foot-tall woman. You cowardly pieces of goddamn shit. I'm sorry, I digress. I saw that being our divine feminine mother trapped in her realm. If she leaves her realm, there's realms and realms and realms, okay? I think some of them believe it's in the 13th realm. Oh, the number 13. Why is it that all these Masons want to bang a 13-year-old girl? Whoa, wait a minute here. 13th realm, where the divine feminine resides. I wonder, is that one of the little secrets they don't tell you about? I got a lot of fucking secrets they don't tell you about that I discovered. And they don't even know why they do what they do. They're so fucked up. Anywho, this video survives. Anywho. Okay. So she's in her realm. If she leaves this realm, she's the protector of all unlimited source and power. She's there in the monad, and she's in the Palomar with the monad, which, by the way, monad is an anagram for nomad. Something to think about. The one, and a nomad is a one. Anywho, and she's there in this realm. If she was to, and it's the realm of incorruptibility. The male left the realm, okay? So this entity, not the source of all energy, but she produced a child, and somewhere in this mix here, the male left the realm, went and got himself a new Corvette or a Ferrari and a speedboat, and came down here and decided he's the shit, and he wants to fuck everything that moves because, you know, he's all powerful man, you know, and he can create and go to the gym and biceps and get some ink on him. And, you know, he's look at me now and yeah, I know I have a family, but fuck, you know, the 21-year-old aerobic instructor or the girl at the gym, you know, she's checking me out. And I think, yeah, ooh, you know, so he goes and, you know what men do. You know what men do. I tell you what men do. Any fucking thing they can get away with, that's what they do. I'm one of them, I can tell you that. Okay? And for ladies out there, why does my husband or men do what they do? They'll do any goddamn thing they can get away with, okay? And that's why boundaries have to be established. So she's in this incorruptible realm. If she decides to leave that realm and come here and rescue us, she can't return. So incorruptibility doesn't exist anymore. Does that make any goddamn sense to you? So she's trapped in there. So she can't leave that realm to come here. He's doing everything he can. This y'all about this male patriarchic energy of fucking disgustingness is doing every fucking thing he can to damage and hurt her children to the point if she doesn't leave, there'll be nothing left. Hoping to draw her out, okay? She can't leave that realm. If she does, it's all over for all of us. That's why it's our responsibility, being her children, to fucking carry this fight on and stop this shit. She cannot leave that realm, okay? There's been a realm established right beneath her realm. It's called the realm of Sabaoth. And if you know about the Gnostic teachings, and Gnostic, by the way, just means knowledge. There's nothing derogatory about having knowledge. Doesn't it say in your Old Testament horseshit book, my people are destroyed for lack of gnosis, knowledge? Dumbasses. Anywho, she can't leave that realm. So this other realm has been established. It's like having your mom's got this beautiful little farmhouse that we were born in, and we can't go back to that property, but she's got the property next door for us. And we can go down the fence line and be very, very close together again. But this separation will always be there because we're corrupted. And once you're corrupted, you can't. And you see, this is what happens to these Masons. Their 32 degrees is 32 degrees of separation, not enlightenment, okay? And by the time you get to that magic 33rd, your fucking ass is gone, okay? In fact, you're gone at the 3rd, really. All your Aleister Crowley fucking sex right ritual shit that you've gone through has busted every fucking firewall in your brain, and your consciousness has been just obliterated. So these men are fucking, they're just gone, okay? And so going back to that, they're trapped here, and guess what? They want your ass trapped here with them. But you can stay here and sniff each other's nut sacks and whatever it is that you do, but I'm not. And the people that I love and care about, we're getting the fuck out of here. And we're going back to our realm. And you can stay here and bang each other in your rear ends. I don't care what you do, you poop, shoot, fucking queers. Fucking sickos. And so, you know, let me just keep going here. Where are we at time? 24 minutes. Someone says, oh, but wait, I don't get this. My husband's a Mason, or my grandfather was, and he was married and had children, and but you're telling me they want to go bang boys and all this stuff too? Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you. Let me throw this out there right now for everyone. There's a difference between being a spouse and playing the role of a spouse. Okay, because 90% of the people out there are just playing a role. You know, half of marriages end in divorce. The other half that are still striking it out, about 70 to 80% of them by admission say they're just staying in it for convenience. If they get divorced, I'll have to give up my house, move back into an apartment. I have to go to work at fucking Walmart or, the local mall. And, I'll have to give all this up. And you know what? As long as we can make shit work and I can keep the house and the expense account and the credit card and he can go fishing every fucking weekend and sneak off and fuck the girl down the street or whatever he does. I don't want to know about it. And hey, we just make the best of this fucking thing. Sound familiar? Because that's almost every fucking household in the... Anywho. There's a difference between being a spouse and playing the role of a spouse. Of course, every man wants a wife. Who wouldn't? You got a beautiful wife, you got a home, you get your laundry done, you get your dick sucked 3 days a week. If you're really good and you buy her some nice stuff, she might roll over and give you some real goodies. And you get to have children and you get to look good in the community and, you get to be the king of your castle. And while she takes care of everything and really makes and molds you, man, who you are, you stupid piece of shit, you're only there because of what she has made you. And allows you to be a complete fucking stupid douchebag and still support your fucking retarded ass why we don't know. But so anyway, so you can go off and enjoy life and go develop and buy properties and look big and buy a Harley and, get some big engines on the back of your boat so you can go bass fishing and catch fish and throw them back because you can't keep them. But you can spend the fucking $75,000 on a boat and shit to do this ritual of pretending like you're... Of course men want that, but they're playing the role. But when a man and a woman come together, it goes something beyond marriage. When two people become one, this amazing thing, it's a very rare thing. And for those of us who have it, and I experienced it with my wife, my soul being person that I am one with, that's heavy. That's reconnecting back. Source energy, let me explain this to you. Imagine you're a drop of water and you're in the sky. You've been evaporated up. And you're this drop of water. It's been said that every drop of water, molecule of water, contains all the knowledge of everything in existence. It has the ability to contain this in water. That's just one drop. And each one of us are a drop of this water. But when that water falls out of the sky and it hits the ocean, it becomes one. It's still one molecule of water, but it's connected back to the one. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're this little drop of water, and we're supposed to be connected back to source, which is everything. And that's where our power is. But if they can keep us disassociated from that, we don't have our power. They do, and they can control us, okay? Is any of this making any sense? Or do you want to go back to church and worship the most stupid shit? You can go drink some dude's blood and eat his flesh. Wow, that's fucking vampire fucking cannibalism and necromancy. Go fucking do it. You're out there. And if you want to worship this thing called Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahuwah, whatever its fucking name is, go ahead. He is a fucking murdering psychopath genital mutilating piece of shit, okay? He's that bad daddy. He's Yaldabaoth, okay? He's the created, it's Sophia creating something on her own, and this thing wants you to think he's the creator. So him and his little shithead archons reach down in the earth and grab some mud and form a man and take us, our soul essence beings, and transmutes us into this fucking mud man creation that they've had and puts us in here, traps us on this earth because earth and all of the light that's here is our divine feminine mother and traps us here. So we attack her and attack the earth. We attack everything living. We chemtrail spray the fuck out of everything. We poison our water. We poison our foods. We poison our children. We fill our minds full of crap. We decimate everything that she's ever created and build our... Do you not see what's going on? It's a complete attack on her. Why? Because he's pissed off. Why is he pissed off? Well, maybe because this asshole entity that wants you to think he's the creator can't go back to the realm of incorruptibility because he left. And he can't go back. So he's in a way separated from her. So he says, well, if I can't go back there, I'll draw her ass and bring her here. And she ain't leaving. And she's not coming to reside here with your stupid ass in this corrupted realm that he's created. Why do men do what they do? The prayer I made when I was 22 years old. That's why men do what they do. You know, it starts with the male is really a degenerated female. She created him for companionship and protection, and so she could have something to enjoy existence with, and he turned out to be a fucking real piece of work. Don't like that. You don't like hearing that, do you? Well, that's the truth of reality. And so this is what is going on here. Why the men are attacking the women, because it's inherently put in hers from our bad daddy. We've been trauma bonded to this God who created this world and this realm and filled it with every fucking temptation known to man and gets you to be so broken down and give into this stuff that when you do, your life turns to fucking shit. And you lose everything, and then you crawl on your knees back to him, because he's not only the destructor God, he's the good God too. And if you come over here and tell me how fucking wonderful I am and how sorry you are for being a fucking loser, I'll save you, and then we'll rebuild you, and you can be, you know, whatever. But you haven't done a fucking thing but just crawl and grovel back to him. And when you do, you're going to give away all your power, agency, and authority and surrender to me. Because he's tricked you into thinking he's the creator. Welcome to trauma bonding. This is dissociation. This is trauma-based mind control. This is what the whole fucking world is under. This is the spell that's running the whole fucking world and realm. Not what you're going to hear on church on Sunday morning from your pastor who fucking jacks off the porn 5 days a week. No, isn't. No, but you can crawl down in church. By the way, church is a Latin word, means bank, and drop off your tithe in there, and you can whisper all your little dirty sins to him so he can get some more trauma control over you, and he'll let you think that you've given yourself and you've got a ticket to heaven. You're not going to fry in a place called hell, which neither of these two places exist. Though there's an underworld, bet your ass at that. There's many layers of this underworld, and there are higher realms. But they don't tell you about those things. It's all about control, people. It's all about dissociating ourselves from our creator that they've hidden from us. So what do? How do we fucking fix this thing? First, know the truth. Seek the truth, okay? She'll reveal herself to you. You'll go through hell, but she will reveal herself to you. Probably if you're watching this video, it's because you're seeking. And she'll reveal her truth, her knowledge, her wisdom, and you get her power. And when you have that and we connect back to the one, then we can defeat this thing. It's not coming external. There isn't a fucking dude riding a white horse with a tattoo on his leg that says, I'm the king, and he's going to slaughter the whole fucking earth, and there's going to be blood to the bridle of a horse. And I don't know, first of all, where is he fucking coming from? Is it from outer space? Does he have a fucking oxygen mask on? I've never seen a horse with wings. Do they exist? I don't fucking know. Does it have a unicorn on its head too? And what is it doing for oxygen? And I hope this dude's wearing some thermal clothing, because if you've ever skydived at high altitude, it's cold as shit up there. But he's going to fly back to Earth on his flying horse with his sword made of, I don't know, some special steel where he's just going to chop the whole fucking world up. That arm's going to get pretty sore pretty quick. And then then God, who loves the earth more than he so loves this world that he gave his son, is going to burn the whole fucking thing down and destroy everything here. Are you a fucking psychopath or what? And you got this Old Testament shit where David and all these characters go and rape and kill all these women and pull the babies out of the wombs and stab them and throw them against the rocks and shit, and then go cut the foreskins off these men and take them back to the king. What in the fuck is going on? You know, you ever read Job? First of all, Job, when this Yahweh character says to the Satan, by the way, that was never in the original, by the way, the story, have you considered my servant Job? Well, wait a minute. I thought he was our father. If you're my father, does your dad call you his servant? No, he calls you your son. Fucking clue number one, something's not right here. And no loving father, and especially no loving grandfather, could slaughter his children and his grandchildren to prove a point. This is, if a modern psychologist was to look at this dude, he would be labeled the fucking Mac Daddy of fucking psychopaths. But yet, that's who you worship. You've been duped. We all have. And we've all been separated. This is dissociative identity disorder because we don't know who we are. We don't know where we are. We don't know how the fuck we got here. We don't know where we go, where we leave when we die. We don't know why we're here. We don't know what fucking date it really is. We've been through 5 different calendar systems. We don't know where it started from. We don't know a fucking thing. I wonder why we fucking got anxiety. Disassociation. You got to connect back to the one, the source. How do you do that? You work it out. You don't read it in a book, and you don't go to some building and let some dude up there, a 501c3 FEMA pastor, on a clergy response team FEMA pastor, tell you how to do it. You go inside yourself, go out in the fucking nature, into the woods, and get alone by yourself, and call out. She'll talk to you. The source energy will talk to you, and she'll reveal herself to you. Until then, you got a big fucking surprise coming, because when you take your last breath in your mud suit that Yaldabaoth built and transmuted your energy soul and stuck you in this fucking thing that we're in, and you think, oh, I just took my last breath, I'm going to heaven. No, you're not. Because you surrendered to him. He's putting your dumb ass right back in the reincarnation loop, wiping your memory and sending you right back here again. Because you're his little energy loose source. Truth's heavy, isn't it? Why are they taking these children, by the way? Why are they having sex with children? You want to talk about Lucifer for a moment? Let's fucking just keep going. It's 37 minutes. I'll wrap it up here in a minute. Where does the word Lucifer even come from? And why don't we get our goddamn words straight, first of all, before we start calling out the devil and Satan and Lucifer, characters that don't even fucking exist. Might as well be Thor and Batman and Superman. I mean, this shit doesn't... Lucifer's a Latin word. It's only found in the Latin Vulgate. But where does it originally come from? It originally comes from a Greek word. And let me say this. All life on this earth, everything that is living, requires something called phosphorus. Phosphorus, if you're a farmer, knows you can't grow a fucking crop without it. And your fertilizer, nitrogen and phosphorus. It's in every living being. It's in us. And where are the highest concentrations of phosphorus found? Get this. In the ejaculate of prepubescent children. And their seminal fluids and vaginal fluids. You can get a child to ejaculate. Kennedy Institute got a baby, an infant, to ejaculate, was it 26 times in a 24-hour period? Yeah. Yep. Why do you think they do this? They're taking the energy, that's life, essence, power, and source that that child needs in its body, prepubescent, and draining it out of that child so it walks the rest of this earth as a fucking walking zombie for the rest of its life. It doesn't ever know true love and never grows and becomes what it's supposed to because it's had the life source energy sucked out of it. That's why they do this stuff to these children. And that's why they anally rape them to split, fracture their mind into disassociation. They're living off of our children. It goes all the way back to the fires of Baal and Molech, which just means Lord, by the way. That's why they're doing that. But you want to know the real fucking kicker of this thing? Phosphorus, the life source energy of all existence, is found in the Greek. And it's called Christophosphorus, the message and the light. And when that word is transferred into the Latin, it becomes Lucifer. Luciferians, let's talk about them for a moment. And let's get this fucking shit straight. If you're a vegetarian, if you eat vegetables, okay, you're a vegetarian. It doesn't mean you worship a vegetable. You got a fucking picture of a cucumber and you pray to it every day. No, you consume vegetables. That's what makes you a vegetarian. If you're what they call a Luciferian, you don't worship Lucifer, you consume Lucifer, the life source, essence and energy of all living. They consume it. They extract it from children. That's why they're Luciferians. Lucifer isn't a fallen angel, retards. It's life source energy. And they are extracting it from our children, and that is what they live off of. And that is all your secret society asswipes. There's your truth. And they want you to think that Lucifer is this bad entity. And so Lucifer is, we have to destroy Lucifer. Lucifer is just source energy. You see what they've done? Little nasty little shits, aren't they? Going back to disassociation. So throw the kicker into it. We grow up, we're adults, we're starting to learn, we're figuring this shit out. We start having our memories returned to us. And right then, they're ready for you to hit you with some fucking fluorinated fucking pills we call benzodiazepines, so we can shut off that frontal cortex of the brain where love and empathy and care and compassion and stuff are, and turn you back into one of them. Archon pieces of shit. That is why when your wife comes home and 3 weeks after the doctor puts her on this medication, she checks out and she's gone and never speaks to you again. Because it's taking that disassociated identity, that alter, taking away the loving, caring wife that you were always with, cutting that off, locking her into the disassociated, fractured spouse, and she's gone. There's your truth. That's what's taking place, and that's what's happened. Where are we at? 41 minutes? I'm going to wrap it up with this one. I've been through fucking hell. I've been through fucking hell with this thing. And I knew that the attacks I were getting had to be something I was being drawn to, or I wouldn't have been attacked so bad, what all they've done to me and what all they did to my spouse or continue to do. But I know one thing, that I know this in my being, that the real way to save your loved one is to save others. First, you better fix yourself, get yourself reconnect, find out who your mother is. I'm going to shoot one quick video. It's going to follow this one. It's a scene from a movie. It's only maybe a minute long. It's the most powerful scene ever shot in cinematography history. And it's going to show you exactly what happened to her. I'm going to show you right there in this movie. Many of us have seen this. And you're going to see right there with your own eyes, you're going to see it. I'll follow it up with this. You can watch it. I'll try to make it like 5 minutes or something with comments. Reconnect yourself back to her. She loves you. She misses you. You want to get back at this fucking bastard that's doing all this shit? Go see her.